This is Nasty Neal here at the station of decapitation without your head for daily-ish horror. That's right. So I don't think I was here yesterday, but I am back today. And of course, Thursday is our normal live show. It'll be me, Terrible Troy, Tara Hutchinson, and cousin AJ. And we're going to be joined by Gil Gex and Sky Elobar. And they're going to be talking about their new film, Ebony and Ivory, by Jim Hosking of The Greasy Strangler, who both those guys were also in The Greasy Strangler. That'll be exciting. That'll be our live show. And then we'll show some trailers, and then we'll maybe take some video calls, and we'll talk about some stuff going on in the world of independent horror. So come and join us live every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a long live show, a cool interactive chat room, sending questions, comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and you can also help support the channel, become a member. It starts only $3 a month, $10 a month, and you can get IMDb credit. But today, for the Daily Horror, I am going to be joined by Adam C. Briggs and Sam Dixon of A Grand Mockery. And those I think people overuse the term Lynchian, David Lynch, but I think this definitely actually fits into that category. It's shot on film, very weird movie. It's sometimes, dreamlike. I definitely see it as something that would do really well as a midnight film. You're just late at night, you just sit back, get immersed in the movie, in the music, and just go on this weird ride. So we're going to talk to these fine folks. A movie played at Fantasia Film Festival, which I don't know if it's finished. I think it finished. It went on for 2 or 3 weeks. I've never been to it, but I've done press for it for years. So maybe next year I'll make it out there. I know some of my friends, like Catatonic is always there. It would be a fun time. So we're going to get right to this interview. If you'd like to be on a future episode, you can email me at withoutyourhead@gmail.com. Also, send in your independent horror trailers, and we can play them here on the show. So here we go. Upcoming on the Daily Horror Show, a lot of great guests. We've got Crispin Glover going to be on the show. That's amazing. Adult film star legend Ginger Lynn. A lot of good stuff. So always subscribe and check out. Hit that bell icon because you never know we're going to go live. So let me get to this interview here and hope you guys enjoy it. Adam C. Briggs, Sam Dixon, independent filmmakers out of Australia. And they're going to talk about their film, A Grand Mockery, which just played at Fantasia Film Festival. All right, here we go, folks. Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal. I'm joined by Adam C. Briggs and Samuel Dixon, the creators of A Grand Mockery, playing at Fantasia Film Festival. It's cool to have you both here.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask, can you explain the movie for people who aren't aware yet? But I think if you give a description of what it's about, that doesn't really mean a lot. But what would you say they'd be in for when they go to see the movie?
I would say a very haunted, hallucinatory, small city Australian film of
a character descending into a madness of his own devising. Yeah.
So when I was reading some of the reviews on Letterboxd, some people had said you guys really captured Brisbane. So how accurate would you say that is? Especially probably that's more for the first half of the movie, I would say.
I would say it's absolutely and completely 1,000,000% accurate. And I've never seen Brisbane represented before the way that we have, which is the way that it is. There you go. No, I mean, Brisbane's not a cultural city in Australia, where Brisbane is the forgotten city. And we haven't seen Brisbane represented Brisbane's barely been represented in cinema, and let alone the Brisbane that we know. So yeah, a lot of the reason to shoot on the Super 8 was to kind of represent that strange and oppressive and hallucinatory nature of the city. A city which yeah, it is very surreal and oppressive, but also very, very beautiful in a lot of ways. So, yeah, we wanted to make Brisbane kind of a character in the film as much as the characters themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So when you write that movie, when you make the movie, do you think like, how is this going to play outside of Brisbane or outside of Australia? You know, in other countries?
I don't think we ever thought that far ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think if you are documenting something quite specific, you know, that's the most timeless thing you can do, I think, in terms of a piece of art or a film having longevity and other people connecting to it. I think it's, if you're focusing on the details very wholeheartedly and the earnestness of your environment and the people that you meet, in which, you know, many of the people in this film, I would say, are almost like a tree in that city. I think, yeah, you're doing the opposite of alienating people. You know, in terms of focusing on those specifics.
So have you watched it with an audience outside of Australia yet?
Well, last night it played. Yeah, was the
Oh,
international
it was last night.
premiere.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we watched most of it. I yeah, ducked out for a cigarette at some point, but we watched most of it, and yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to, you know, have the film come this far from its quaint origins, and we've watched it with, you know, a lot of audiences in Brisbane. It's played a lot now in Australia, so we have both reached a point where, you know, we can't watch it anymore. Well, I can't watch it anymore, but yeah, we wanted to see, you know, a bit of how audiences copped it last night, and yeah, it seemed to play well. People laughed. You know, it's like, which we want. You know, it's not a film that takes itself incredibly seriously. So no, the audience seemed to cop it well. And I never even know how well, you know, people outside of Australia are going to understand.
Yeah,
At
that's
least
what I was kind of wondering about, you know,
yeah,
playing a Fantasia. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. It seemed to go well. I mean, like I said, that was last night. I haven't been punched in the face in the street yet, so yeah, I think it went well.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, that's good. So, casting the movie, besides yourself, were they like just people you knew, and were they written specifically for them?
Um, it was a combination. Yeah, yeah. There were some roles that were tailored specifically for people. Kate Dillon, who's an old friend of ours who had acted in Adam's previous feature, Paris Funeral. Kate was sort of on board from the get-go. Yeah, we'd sort of decided very early on that I would play the protagonist, because was sort of inspired by stuff that was actually happening to me at the time. And all the other roles just kind of fell into place through people that we knew and encounters that we had, and just us trusting our instincts. Do you want to talk a bit more on that?
I mean, just to give an example, there's infinite examples, but you know, I think we needed an exorcism to be performed, and, you know, we just like Sam's character required a witch, so we found, you know, a friend who is a witch who attempted to perform this exorcism very, very seriously. I don't think it was very successful, but yeah, we found people that, you know, just happened upon us. People that drove by, people we met at bus stops, some people we've known for many years. A few of the people from the film have actually passed away. I mean, you know, not for tragic circumstances, but, you know, older people in the film. I think 3 people so far. So yeah, there's a lot of people in there that have, if we didn't know them, have become very close friends.
The bartender towards the end of the film that keeps plying Mr. Josie with the red wine, he's my childhood friend that has collaborated with me on heaps of films. He did a lot of the music as well, and he's not, you know, an actor per se, but he can act, and, you know, and I knew that he could do that role, and so there was just a lot of things which just fell into place. It was very much, the film kind of made itself in a lot of ways, you know.
She
Yeah.
said like an actual exorcism. Is that like the painted scene and with the babies? So like when you give birth. What's the
No, the exorcism is when Kate's character Nellie is led to all of
oh yeah,
Josie's
yeah.
correspondence that he
Mhm.
was having with this mysterious Sal, and she starts reading through it all and sees some of the insane shit that he got up to, and then we have the interview where it has she is reading him meeting the strange grey-haired man that sort of befuddles his mind even further, making him think that it's his partner that's cursed him in some way. That's not the case. And then it's the scene following, which is very brief. In an earlier cut, it was a lot longer, but yeah, where there's the sort of the I'm like sitting in a little white dress, and there's the woman going by the power of Hecate, by the power of Lucifer. So she is an actual witch that we wanted to perform an actual exorcism. Like we wanted her to do it. We were like, this is for the film, but we want you to treat it like it's an actual exorcism, and I am genuinely cursed. So,
And
like,
it was
yeah.
filmed we filmed it in the cemetery in the nighttime. She took it very seriously. I mean, we sort of set out to, with Amelia, the witch. There's been so many exorcisms in cinema history, but to make an extremely impotent exorcism,
Yeah.
that was just like clearly just pumped the person with far more demons than beforehand.
Yeah.
I remember she because she treated it very seriously. She genuinely and I didn't know she was going to do this when we were preparing for the scene in the dead of night in the cemetery. She got me to drink this like strange tincture that she told me was going to be a part of was going to aid in the exorcism. And I had no idea what this mysterious brew was and what it was going to do to me. So I was genuinely I was fine. It didn't. I think it was
as far as you know, yeah.
Yeah. As far as I know, yeah. We'll see when the tumors start popping out of me in later years. But as far as it was. There was a lot of stuff like that just sort of happened. Yeah.
She says it's inspired by things that were happening to you. So, like, can you explain that more?
Well, I was working at the cinema depicted in the film, and I was living directly next to the cemetery that's shot in the film. Adam and I had established a little cemetery postal system where we'd deliver each other letters and information through different postal boxes that we'd set around. The cemetery is very vast as well. So a lot of that stuff was going on. I had just moved back to Brisbane from Sydney and was in a very strange time where I was sort of resetting my life. I was, I'd made a lot of short films, but hadn't sort of cracked making a feature yet, and I was feeling a bit disenfranchised. Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff going on in my life and in Adam's life, and we both wanted to work together on something at some point. And just the backdrop of the things actually happening sort of ended up making it a giant, witch's brew that became the inspiration for the film, essentially. Yeah.
How did you guys start working together? Like, where did you guys meet?
Well, probably just Sam. Yeah, Sam moving back to Brisbane. We knew each other. I was a big fan of Sam's short films, which I would highly recommend looking up. You can watch them on Vimeo.
I will look those up.
Sam Dixon, they're amazing. And yeah, so we were both in an odd state. A couple of other friends that I don't know, a group formed around letters in the cemetery, most of whom were going through their own trials, and that was the atmosphere that the film came from. But it was just that was when we grew close to each other during these trials, and eventually translated into the film.
We wanted to work together at some point as well, where we'd had different things that we'd sort of experimented with. We spoke a long time about doing a play together. But the film just sort of kind of told us to make it at some point. Like it just kind of came to be. And we sort of I only had a really half-assed conversation about directing it together, and we didn't really even know how that was going to work. We just started doing it, managed to get into a rhythm, but yeah, it was the least forced project I've ever embarked upon. It all came very. A lot of people have asked us about how we went directing together, and the answer is it was very, very easy. We had very next to no disagreements. We sort of both knew like what we were doing, like what we wanted from this world and the film that we were making. So we were sort of just inherently on the same page from the beginning. Yeah.
Did that also help having two directors when you're in the film so much? Because it'd be hard to direct yourself, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I wouldn't have been able to direct something like that myself. Yeah. So I very much deferred to Adam with when I was acting. I feel like when like you're acting, I feel like you have a feeling when you've gotten something or not, but then you need other people's guidance, like because you're not seeing yourself what you're actually doing, you're just going by feel. So yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And also in terms of the scenes, if one of us was more of the author of a particular scene, that person would direct that scene. So Sam, direct, was probably it was very democratic in that way, just that, but not in a conscious way. If this is how we're going to functionally make the film, that would make sense. So you did that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the lounge singer near the end of the movie. I think that guy was great in the film. The singer in the film.
Who was that?
The singer in the film, the older guy.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Diamond. Yeah. Jimmy Diamond is real. He is actually a really old school Brisbane performer from the '60s that we encountered pretty much when we had the conversation that we were going to make this film. We met him for the first time almost directly afterwards. He cruised past this cafe that we were at in this really beaten up old Valiant. We were like, wow, this guy looks amazing. And we went and had a chat with him. And he just talked to us like we'd known each other our entire lives. And so that's Jimmy Diamond. Jimmy Diamond has since passed on.
That's too bad. Yeah, I loved him in the movie.
We got to see a little bit of the film before his passing. We went and met with him and showed it to him. And it's hard to gauge what he thought of it. I think he liked it.
I'm gonna look him up actually after the interview.
Yeah, I think he worked in Nashville. Like he worked over in the US a fair bit, I think. But he had a band in I don't know where he was living. If he was always in Brisbane, but 60s, probably 60s.
60s,
band.
I think. Yeah, I can't remember. Our sound person found the band that he used to play in the 60s, and that was quite a discovery because there was a period where we knew that he did genuinely perform, but he would just tell us all these stories about Nashville, and we could just sort of never discern whether he was full of shit or not. But then he's real.
Yeah. I think that kind of adds to it, though, if you don't even know.
For sure. Yeah.
So I'm sure you've been asked a lot about this. Who made the prosthetic penis? And why are there several scenes of peeing in your movie?
Well, yeah, some people have noted. Yeah, it is a very phallic.
Well, maybe I'm the only one who knows. I don't
know. There's a bit of, for me, like Burroughs kind of influence in just human beings as disgusting and grotesque entities, and I think that filthy aspect of it, I don't know, I think was sort of born out of a certain the degenerate atmosphere in which Josie was existing in, and the guy that made the prosthetics is once again, I said, like a lot of people are old friends of ours. The guy that made the prosthetics, Reese Cleveland, he's a childhood friend of mine. He's been doing that stuff for a while. He's made his own feature film called Sword of Silence, which is brilliant. But that's Reese's thing. He goes by the name of Dome in the credits. But
He's a penis maker.
Well, he made the tumor on the face. There's a few other prosthetics in the film. But he loves that shit. But in terms of just like that, I don't really know how to speak of the I don't know. There's a strange middle warren between the erotic and the grotesque, and I think that was where we wanted the film to sort of traverse.
I think people should see Grand Mockery if they can at a festival or something. I think it's really would play well as like a midnight movie, kind of, Razorhead kind of deal, just to sit back and get lost.
I think it's going to play in, I don't know, New York. I think there's a film up there.
That's not far from me. So.
Scary movies or something.
In a bit,
I think it's in a couple of weeks. There'll be others around, like the US, possibly Canada.
But definitely a midnight movie. Definitely a movie to go have a couple of drinks to. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Red wine.
And where can people follow you to see where the movie's playing and what happens to it next?
Well, we're on Instagram. Adam C. Briggs and
Sam Dixon.
Dixon.
You'll find us.
That's probably where we put information about screenings and stuff. That's probably about it.
Yeah, I pretty much only use Instagram to plug film projects. We don't really operate on the socials outside of that, but that would be the best place to find upcoming screenings and whatnot.
Yellow Veil is just
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It'll be on some sort of streamer later in the year. There'll be a Blu-ray. So towards the end of the year, you probably should be able to find
whenever I get something from Yellow Veil, I know it'll be something interesting.
They're great.
Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, congrats on the movie. Congrats on playing Fantasia. That's huge. And Yellow Veil. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from both of you.
No, thank you so much. Yeah. It's been a pleasure chatting. Thank you, mate.
Thanks.
Thank you, Neil. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Hey, all right, and I am back there, here, and everywhere. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Check out a Grand Mockery at a festival near you, and then, they've already signed the deal with Yellow Veil, so it'll be coming out eventually. Either probably both streaming, and I think Yellow Veil does a lot of physical releases too. So either way, though, I would check it out. It's definitely if you could get to a festival and see it late at night with a bunch of people and just kind of turn all your phones off, sit back, let all the music soak in, and have a good time. And I want to check out some more from these guys and from Jimmy Diamond. I did actually look him up, and I found videos of him from like the 60s. And he's like dancing the same, and you could tell the same guy, it was just 60 years prior. So that was very cool, little hidden gem in a Grand Mockery. All right, so I'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow for our big show with Gil Gex and Sky Elobar of Ebony and Ivory go together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? Yeah, so that's what'll be happening tomorrow night. Is it a horror movie? Nah, but it's weird and it's fun. It's made by Jim Hosking of the Greasy Strangler, and it'll be a good time. I believe the whole gang will be here. Me, Troy, AJ, and Tara, and of course, Bill Weeden. So that'll be a good time. Fantasia Fest. I saw a lot of great films through Fantasia this year. Get out to your festival, even if you can't make it up to Fantasia. And I know Fantasia is several weeks long, but even if you go for a weekend or a couple days. But look around. There's probably a independent film festival in your area that you can go to. One of my favorites is Boston Underground Film Festival. But there's probably one near you. And some of the small, quote-unquote, smaller ones, to me, there's something very special about those because everyone watches the films together on one screen. You have more interaction with each other. You guys are hanging out in between movies, after movies. And everyone from the filmmakers, the actors, press, and just people there to watch movies, you're all on the same level because you're all weird folks who share the same love, and that is the love of independent film. So I cannot highly recommend enough film festivals. And so coming up, probably this weekend, we're going to start we'll be having some more Fantasia interviews, and then we're going to have some Fright Fest interviews. Fright Fest is coming up in London for our folks in London, or if you can make it out to London. And then we'll have, we'll get, after that, we're going to start doing some fantastic, amazing fantasy film festival interviews. So good stuff. Lots of interviews to come, lots of live streams. So hop on board and join me here on wherever you're watching. I know we're streaming a lot of different locations, Instagram, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. But it's easiest if you come over to the YouTube page. I can see your comments easiest. And on Thursdays, we have a pretty active group of folks, and you can join the chat. It is a good time. All right, so like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll be out of here. And join us, follow us on all the different, your favorite social media page. Trying to post more stuff on Instagram. That's getting pretty popular. All right, folks, we will talk to you soon, as in tomorrow.
Hi, this is Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you are listening to Without Your Head. And you better keep listening to Without Your Head, or you will not only be without your head, you will be without your soul, because I will tear it apart.